Okay, it has officially been a little over the week since the Duviri Paradox came out on Warframe as of recording this. Now, I figure it's about time for us to do a review of the Duviri Paradox. No, not the old Duviri Paradox that we were shown about 4 years ago, give or take. This new Duviri Paradox, which I think is actually a bit different from what we were shown initially, but I don't hate that it is. It might actually low-key be a good thing. Because as we were shown it years ago, we were shown it way before the new war took place. And we were shown it in the sense that it was potentially going to be an update after the new war or tying in to the new war somewhere. Well, the Duviri Paradox we got now, they decided to make a new player experience, which is interesting because if you think about all the ramifications of people being introduced to the drifter before they get introduced to the operator, I actually had a comment the other day about someone asking how I am playing the drifter outside of the Duviri Paradox. I was confused at first, but then I thought about it, and yeah, it makes sense because they only play the drifter in the Duviri Paradox. If they've gotten far enough in the game, at least to the second dream, they have access to operator, but you don't get access to drifter till later on in the game. Not the Duviri Paradox drifter, but the new war drifter. So there's at least like 2 to 3 different drifters running about. Just think of it as like a whole bunch of these multiverse type things. And I'm actually down for it quite a bit. Now, I would be remiss if I didn't point out the bugs, okay? On launch day, it was riddled with bugs. There were lots of bugs. There were straight up game crashing. I actually had some comments say that certain bugs would just make it so you literally had to close the game and reopen it. I had times where I tried to load into the Duviri Paradox, ended up getting sent somewhere else entirely. Other times where I couldn't get into the game. And then finally, when I got into a game, a progression bug would happen, stopping me from being able to do stuff. And worst of all for me, okay, I don't know if you guys experienced this as well, but worst of all for me, there was that looming time limit, that you had to make sure so you could get the steel path circuit done, so you could get the adapter for the incarnate weapon that you wanted. It was resetting like in 2.5 days. So I had to ramp up everything. I had to be like, okay, I'm just going to play this nonstop. One day it will not bug for me. I mean, if you play something 1,000 times, statistically speaking, some of those times will not be bugged, right? So, yeah, I did that. And DE actually came up with some hot fixes and whatnot, and that fixed quite a bit. And it actually helped me. I think the first 2 hot fixes were on launch day and the day after. So that was good. Without those, I do not think I would have been able to make anything the way I did. Now, we talked about the bugs. There are still bugs, but the is still working on them. And the other day, I noticed they actually fixed a railjack bug, which means that when they fix bugs, it seems like sometimes they are going into other parts of the game, not just the Duviri Paradox, and fixing them, which I like. So far, I've mentioned the fact that I don't think it's the same Duviri Paradox we were teased 4 years ago, but that's not a bad thing, in my opinion. Then I mentioned how the bugs made it very hard for people on time crunch to get content out to, even play, or people who've been looking forward to it. But those are actively being worked on, so I'm not really going to, you know, I don't know. I'm not really going to hold it against digital extremes. Were bound to be some bugs. Now, with that said, I think I would like to put this along the lines of Plains of Eidolon as far as how buggy it was on launch day, but he's working it out, so definitely gotta give them credit for getting on it very quickly. Now, what I don't like about the Duviri Paradox would probably be actually, I like most of the factors. Now, I'll be honest, but if you read the forums day one, you would swear up and down that the Duviri Paradox was the worst thing in the universe. A lot of people, especially still path related stuff, a lot of people do not like the fact that still path gives you random frames and weapons. I actually think I like that fact quite a bit. Still path gives you random stuff because I'm one of those creatures of habit, okay? I have a frame, I have a weapon I use, I have two other weapons on top of that I use. I rarely use different weapons, okay? So the still path kind of forces me to use different weapons. Yeah, especially, well, I guess technically regular mode does. I meant Duviri Paradox. I said still path it. Okay, anyway, so I guess technically the Duviri experience does too, but you'll rarely be playing as your Warframe in the Duviri Paradox experience. So that's more of a circuit thing that you'll be playing as a Warframe. Now, the good things. Like I said earlier, I like the fact, story-wise, I like the idea that you can meet the drifter before the operator. It's this whole paradox thing, and I really like that idea quite a bit. I also like the random frames. I know you're either gonna love it or you're gonna hate it. If you don't like it, feel free to let me know comment section below. But honestly, I do not hate it personally. But with that said, I do have steel path builds on some of my weapons and some of my Warframe. So I can understand that I'm in kind of a different boat than a new player and whatnot, since my stuff is pretty much built for end game for the most part. And intrinsics, I'm working on unlocking them. My worry is that once I unlock them and get all the stuff I need from the Duviri Paradox, my worry is that it's going to eventually turn into the other open worlds for me. There's really no reason for me to go back to the other worlds right now. So we will see what happens with that. As of right now, they say they're potentially adding Kate races back to the game, which is horse, in case you're curious. So we'll see what goes on with that. And yeah, overall, I do like it. Could it have been its own like little game? Yes. Should DE have just made it its own little game? I don't know. I'm in two minds on that. On one hand, I've been saying for like months and months now, oh, they should have made it its own game. It would have been cool. But I honestly, their decision to make it part of Warframe, it's interesting, okay? Because I don't think it would have made made sense or made good on being its own game, because its story is, it has a lot, it leans on that whole paradox aspect of the drifter slash Warframe quite a bit. So I don't think it could survive being its own game. Do I think that it is sort of a test of how far they can push their game engine, evolve their game engine for games such as Soulflame or stuff? Yes, I still think that that is a thing that they are doing. But yeah, I digress. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. And with that said, I will catch you guys in the future. Later.